Right then, I'm Niall Evans and you join me at my favourite fishery in the whole wide world. It is Weston Pools and we are on the Jacks Lake today. We're on peg 4. It's about the 17th of November, so everything's cooling down, slowing down a bit, but this lake in particular is absolutely stuffed with fish. So we've got 2 pints of red maggots and we're going to see just how much we can catch. Come on. So like I say, you join us here on the Jacks Pool today and we're just going to try and have a lovely day's wintry maggot fishing, and we're going to try and catch everything what swims, because if it swims, believe me, it is in here. So rig choice today. I've got a long kit, I've got 11 jaw of slip, 017 mainline, 2 number 8 backstop. We got a beautiful Richie Wilson 4x14s Maggie. So that's got a 1.7mm hollow bristle. Got a little number 12 fine tuna. Running down the rig, I've got 6 number 8s. And I've got 2 number 10 droppers, 6 inch under the bulk, 6 inch below that. And then I've got a 6 inch hook length of 013 power line to a 16s F1 pellet. And I'm going to be hooking 2 maggots right in the tail. Bait wise, super simple. I have 2 pints of lovely Weston Pools maggots. Well, that didn't take long, did it? We literally shipped out, tapped in 100 or so maggots in a big sprinkle lid pot, and I was just going to lift it out of the water and reset it in, and this little 10-ounce stocky has snaffled up my 2 maggots. So I'm just going to repeat that process. I'm going to hook 2 red maggots in the tail end. Have a decent amount of hook showing. Fill that sprinkle lid up right to the top. Quick dunk, and then we're off. Try and dodge about 1,000,001 leaves. It's beautiful, isn't it, autumn fishing? Rattle them maggots in from a height, try and draw a few fish in, make a bit of noise. let that rig straighten out. I'm going to hold my float about 2.5 foot out the water. Let me bulk catch up and then just lower it in. Nice and slow. And hopefully a 3 pound F1 has watched me do that and it snaffles up them maggots. So an indication straight away. So some fish has seen them maggots and they're straight in feeding. So I'm expecting a bite any second. Another little liner. Just going to reset that rig again. I'm a big believer in. I like lifting and dropping. I feel like when you do it nice and slow, especially with maggots, I feel like they're always watching. And the amount of times go straight in and straight under. There we go. Beautiful. So it feels like another stocky. That 11 jaw are working absolutely wonderful for these stamp fish. Beautiful. Smack bang in the kisser. Right in the top lip. Lovely. So to start with, like I say, we're fishing with maggots. You know, there's two ways you can really, well, there's three ways. You can either throw, you can catapult, or you can pot it in. This time of year, everything's slowing down. I want to ease my way into it. You know, it might be, I'm expecting it to be really good, but it might be one of them days this time of year, they can go really funny, not what to feed, and the last thing you want to do is start spraying your peg with maggots. So, kinder pot, I'm going to keep it all lovely and tight, so whenever a fish comes in to see these maggots, I've got my line going straight down, I'm going to get indications, I'm going to be able to read my peg by starting in this way. So just to kick things off, I like to tip in my maggots from a bit of a height. I want to try and draw some fish in, make a bit of noise on the surface of the water, give them something to home in on, and then they're going to see that lovely column of maggots falling down. Well, this one's just had that on the drop. Lovely. You see, I think keeping it all nice and tight, we're straight into a fish. I think if I started off pinging that line, I might have fish, you can't group it as perfectly. So you might have fish feeding in your peg, but you don't end up catching them. Right, so we've eased our way in, nice and negative, just cad potting a few maggots in, but you can just tell it's going to be one of them awesome red letter days at Weston. And you can tell that every time I tap one in, I'm getting an indication. You can tell they're off the bottom. So Tom set me a bit of a challenge to see if we can get dragged in on the jigger in December. Or November, should I say. Nearly December. So, 017 main line, got a Richie Wilson jigger on, 5 number 8 stots, and I like a 6 inch hook length on the jigger, so that's 013, and a 16's F1 pellet, and we're going to see if it's absolutely ridiculous because we can actually see a load of hide surfacing on my maggots as I just pinged them in, so I don't think it's going to take long. So feed before I go out, and then as I get out to my spot, I'm going to feed again, and then I'm just going to lower my rig down. I've got it set up at about 3 foot, and just work that rig up and down, get them maggots fluttering, nice and naturally. Oh, and there we go. So I've hooked a fish now, just want to feed again, I want to keep them occupied in my peg, give them a reason to stay in, give them a reason to stay. Just going to ship this fish back in. I mean, there's not many places you get dragged in on a jigger in November, is there? Lovely little F1, about £1. So it's just repeating that pattern. So now I'm going to put my 2 maggots on. I'm putting about 15 maggots in there. I'm going to feed that twice. Ship straight out over the top. Wow, the leaves are blowing away. It's all coming together. So I've got out to where I'm fishing. I'm going to feed again. Just keep them maggots going in. Give them something to be in the peg for. Get them competing. Feed over the top. Lower it down. Nice and slow. You want to lower it down as slow as them maggots would be falling. Make it look as natural as possible. Boom. Some venue. So we're into another ping again. This feels a better stamp fish. Whenever you've got a decent sized fish on and it's giving you the run around a bit, just keep them maggots going in. There's no better time to feed. Whoa, look at that. £4 F1s on the jigger in November. If you ain't been to Weston Pools, get yourself down. Look at that. £4 F1s on the jigger in November, freezing cold. What a place. Right, so we've been towed in a couple of times on the jigger, but as I'm pinging my maggots in, I've got great big eyed swirl. Look at that, that is ridiculous. So I've got great big eyed swirling and they must be 6 inch deep. It's ridiculous. So I put a fixed rig on and we're gonna see just if we can snare one. I think them F1s are definitely sitting deeper in my peg, and them eyed proper gorge feeders are just coming up and competing right shallow. I don't think this is going to take long, do you, Tom? Feed, slap my rig over, and what do you know? We got one on. Absolutely barney. Keep them maggots going in. And this is what I'm talking about. Jack's pool is full of everything. Great big F1s, lovely eyes, big old gobs on them. And I think we're going to get stuck into these for a bit. Right, so we are absolutely emptying it now. Every time I ping my maggots in, there's a shoal of about, well, I can see about 10 eyed every time I put maggots in. So, another one. Some of the eyed today, Jesus, we've just had one there getting on for, must be £3. Absolute unit of an eyed. We even had an odd chub. Like I say, here at Jack's, when your float goes under, that's the beauty of it. You literally do not know what your next fish is going to be. I'm literally pinging my maggots in. They're all rising to the top. Keep my pole tip out of the way because they are a bit spooky of it. Water's clear now. So make sure, ping them in first and then it chips straight onto it, slap my rig over, and you literally watch the hide take the maggots. It's incredible fishing. Another one ripping my lassie out. Good. Great stamp of hide as well. They must average over £1. And when you're catching them this quick, no wonder you can catch them. Literally, when you come on here in the summer months, I was on here, probably say it was late September, and had £150, and the majority of fish were hide and chub. The gorge feeders hide, so they come at the. Once you start pinging your bait, it does not take long to get them in your peg, and they have the fill. You catch loads, one a chub, easiest fish in the world to catch when they're having it, and then they just disappear out your peg. And it is literally the fact that they are stuffed. They've had the fill of maggots, and they'll come back tomorrow when the next match is on. Right, so like I say at the start, we've tapped in maggots on a deck rig. So I thought that would be the rig which would do the damage. However, it's not. We've caught shallow, pretty much front to back. The rigs I've opted for, both short kits, 11's Jura, lovely, cushion them hide perfectly, especially this time of year. 017 power line. This is the first one, this is the fixed rig. So we've got 017 power line. I've got 2 number 9 stots there as back shot, just so I can get, you could probably have got away with a short lash today, but I just wanted to get that pole tip out of the way. So a decent 12-inch lash there. I've got a back shot 4-inch above the float, one 4-inch above that, and then I've got a matrix short Dacron connector there. Coming down, I've got a 4x8 F1 shallow float. Just take minimal shot, get that maggot falling as natural as possible. That takes 4 number 11s down to a 3-inch hook length of 013 to a 16's SLWG. That's probably been the best rig today until the leaves came in the peg. Once I couldn't turn the rig over, this little beauty came into it. So this is a jigger, started at 4 foot deep, then it went to 3 foot, then it went to 2 foot, and like I say, I've caught all of them. You'd literally drop it in the water like that, your jigger would go up about 4-inch and lassie would be out. So probably 10-inch deep, and you're watching them take the maggots all day. This rig, short kit, 11's Jura, 017 power line again, a little waggler stop. Richie Wilson, best jiggers in the business, 0.4 Richie Wilson jigger, down to a bulk of 5 number 8 stots. And on the jigger, like I say, 6-inch hook length. I think it helps the flutter, and you hit all the bites anyway, the lassie's out. Down to a 16's SLWG again. Right, that concludes it, folks. Another red letter day at Weston Pools. A £2 hide to finish. We've just had an absolute, like I say, a red letter day. We've started off tapping in maggots in 5 foot of water out there at 10 metres, well, 11 metres I'd say. You could tell instantly they were having it. Getting linered to death. So I got a 3 foot jigger out, started jigging, started giving them some loose feed, and we've had a shoal of these absolute beauties in the peg all day. I started off with a 4 foot jigger, and then that went to 3 foot, then it went to 2 foot, and well, yeah, we finished up on 2 foot, but I was catching them. I've literally been watching them take the maggots all day long. It's just been absolutely crazy. I'd probably say the best depth was about 10 inches deep. You were just watching them suck the maggots in, and the lassie would be out. Awesome fishing. It's a proper one. This one's definitely not an hide. Just ripped my lassie out. The maggots must have only been 10 inches down in the water. Side on, lassie out. You cannot. £4 F1 to show for it. Lovely stuff.